Around 8 months ago, I decided to completely switch my SMMA client acquisition system from selling on sales calls to purely selling using content that I post on my Instagram business profile. I started only with 50 followers with a small brand, and I was able to close 2 clients in the first week, and it was all purely from DMs. And before I go into the actual strategy and the faceless content that I'm using, and I'm using it now in 2025, I want to break down exactly how I got to this point so that it makes sense for you as it does for me. I started my SMMA agency around 3 years ago, and I started it for the same reasons as you and most digital marketers do start. I wanted to have the ultimate 3 freedoms in life, which is time freedom to do whatever you want to do in whichever time period that you want, not to be bounded to 9 to 5 forever. Wanted to have location freedom so I can work from whatever I want. Although I work whole day, I still want to work from where I want, right? And so I can travel, move myself wherever I want, and still make money from my laptop, right? And money freedom, where I want to be able to provide everything for my future family and my current family, my parents, so that everybody can live comfortably and not be worrying about money literally ever again. And during the period of 3 years that I'm running this agency, I tried 4 approaches to client acquisition. First one was, of course, the cold outreach, where I was spending 6 hours per day doing cold outreach. I did cold DMs in the morning, and then I took a break, mental break, like after a few hours of that. And then I was doing cold calling for US and UK, where I had a phone number that was bought from Zoom, so I can appear as somebody from that country and not to have like a different number. And I closed only 1 client in 5 months. I literally burned out. I had my first anxiety attack, and I'm usually really calm. So that was something that I didn't expect, which was a good lesson, but I would done differently if I could get my time back. I lost that 1 client that I closed after 5 months because I had no idea how to deliver the results. Because I was doing lead generation as a service, I didn't have any playground to test my ads and to see how will they even perform. So I got them like, I think 3 leads in 1 month, and it was a disaster. So soon after that, I realized that I have to do lead generation ads for myself if I want to offer that as a service, right? So I switched to doing paid ads, lead generation ads with the sales call, but I had no brand. Okay, I was following Joe Kaplan advices for this, and although that was incredible advices, it just didn't work as well for me as I wanted it to. So after 1.5 years of running it, I always had leads. On my first day, I got 6 leads from my niche, and it was all perfect. I had 5+ sales calls, you can see, per day. But people didn't want to buy immediately. The business owners just didn't trust enough to go from an ad and then to the maybe intro call and then some warm-up sequence and then sales call. I tried a lot of things without the brand, right? But it never worked so well. So I was able to close maximum 3 clients per month, and it wasn't enough for me. Like maybe for you it could work if you have better sales skills, but after having, I would say, 1,000+ sales calls, I didn't want to go with that route anymore. I wasn't really satisfied with the way that my life was looking like. Although I had enough money and I had some months where I was making 10K per month, it still wasn't the way that I wanted it to be. I've seen people doing different things, and that wasn't the route that I wanted to go. So I tried to go with the route of personal brands, because I heard a lot of people mentioning that you can't run the agency without the personal brand, you have to go with that route. So I've taken coaching for the first time for the personal brand. I spent, I think, 7,000 euros for the coach, learned incredible things, but when I tried to apply that to my agency, it didn't make big enough difference. I had a little bit more money altogether, but still couldn't get rid of the time constraint. So I lost my freedoms that I, at the beginning, started this whole business about. So soon after, I tried to apply the personal brand route to the agency profile and agency business. I realized that clients in done for you system want to actually work with the businesses. They didn't care how I look, which steps I take to make my service work. So all the ads that I was trying to push and try to get people with those personal brand ads, right, where you speak for 30 seconds and explain something, they didn't watch it. Like it was just too long. Because when you're doing coaching, consulting, and you're selling a course where it is required from a person that is purchasing that to do some work, then it does make sense to make a personal brand. But from my experience doing it for done for you system, where clients are local businesses, they have no idea what the ads are. They just want the results. They don't care about you speaking on a camera. And for me, what worked better was when I completely moved myself from a profile and I made it to be a business profile. So after I've removed my face from the agency, I had literally no idea what to do now, like what route to take, how to make that, like how to pass that 10K and how to make it more, how to get those freedom to be always there, like time, location, and money, how to make them always appear in my life. And that's why I decided to try and sell without the sales calls, because that was my biggest time waste. I was spending so much time on sales calls, but I couldn't close people. And it was just, after 1.5 hours of being on a sales call with somebody, they say no. I wanted to get my time back from that way. And I decided to try and sell, as I said now, without the sales calls, only with content, but not to do a personal brand, because I've seen that personal brand doesn't work. And what worked for me was running a faceless business brand and making content around it. So the way that I've got to this point was I combined the knowledge of a personal brand with the knowledge that I had from lead generation agency. Okay, so nobody is speaking how to run a brand and create content when you're offering services, the done for you services, right? Not when you offer coaching, not when you offer course selling, consulting, how to run the agency profile, right? I've seen nobody speaking about that specific thing, which was missing for me, and I couldn't make it work. But I did make it work with a combination of the knowledge of personal brand and the agency that I had from before. So I decided to transform my sales calls into content that I post. I will go into that a little bit more as we move forward, but I wanted to show you how my Instagram brand looks. So it doesn't have my face, and I didn't want to show you this because you will copy everything that I have. I have to put something inside for the paying clients that I'm having. So this is, as you see, there are highlights here. There are pin posts. Everything that is blurred is important thing, right? But I do have videos. It's going to be linked somewhere here above me where I explain actually how to make this profile, how to set it up so you can do it for yourself. So why does this work? Why does faceless thing work? Because it was the biggest thing for me. Like, will faceless, I had a limited belief, like I didn't know will faceless even work. So done for you clients don't have time to watch you. They don't have time to follow what you're saying on videos. They have like limited amount of time. They don't get anything, right? You can't educate and they don't care. They want the results. They want to see fast, will you help them? So when you create the ads, you can't speak for 30 seconds. You have to deliver the offer really fast. So it's either static image ad really quickly, or you have those 5 seconds Reels ads. Again, like really giving the offer as soon as you can to make them follow you. After they follow you, they want to know, can they trust you before they pay you, right? So I wanted to excavate the situation where I'm on a sales call. I spend 1 hour with a person. He says, I'm really not sure. I have to, take a look a little bit more. And then you grapple with the objections. Maybe he says yes, maybe no, or he says yes. And then you hang up and then he's not paying. He ghosts you. I wanted to get rid of that completely. And the way that you get rid of that is you make content to pursue them that this is something worth investing in. And that's also what they want, right? So we create content to nurture people and to make them give us money up front without any objections. They don't care how you look exactly, right? They want to work with business. They just care, can you deliver results that you speak about on your offer? So how to actually close clients with less than 100 followers? Because it's a weird number. Like you wouldn't say that that's even possible, right? So the way to do that is all of your followers have to be qualified. So people you get from the ads have to be high quality leads. Your content needs to act as a sales call, right? So every piece of your content can't be there for no reason. It has to be for the specific reason created, right? So it's either for create trust, to solve some problems, to show them that your system works, to handle the objections. We'll go into that as we move forward here in this video. But I wanted to give you the overview of the whole funnel. So how does this even look? It's a little bit different funnel than what you've seen before, especially because it's faceless. It has 3 simple steps. First one is getting the new followers or leads. We have Instagram ads. It's either static image ad, as I mentioned before, or you have those 6-second reels. For the campaign objective, it's either profile visit, where you get the followers, or it's a lead generation DM ads. So it's not lead generation a form, but you make people DM you. And after they DM you, you can make them to be your followers, right? And then you continue a conversation. Or if you can't close them immediately, they just enter the nurturing phase. In the nurturing phase, which is the second one, we create content and we use content. It's either stories or reels to raise trust and to make them buy from us, right? The last stage being the conversion phase. We just use DMs to communicate with people, qualify them, and then in my case, I send them a VSL on a landing page and they decide will they want to buy. Or if you don't want to do the VSL and you don't want to record yourself, you can just propose a sales call and then go with that route. I don't do it that way, but I've seen some of my coaching clients do it that way and they got good results. The sales call is much warmer because most of the objections are crushed. So those sales calls usually be like just an onboarding form, right? Mostly it happens that people just have a few more questions and they're ready to go with you. I have a video with a full funnel breakdown. It will be somewhere above my head here. I've delved into each and every one of those steps in depth. So what to post? I post 1 to 3 stories per day and I post 3 reels per week. And the themes, which is the most important part of this faceless content creation, are going to be a little bit different from what you've seen by now. So first one is we want to speak about the pains and desires of your clients and how can you help them to achieve them or get rid of the problems. Objection handling, right? Whichever objections you're having, you can just speak about it on stories. You can mention them as a headline in reel and then explain in captions what that is. You can explain your service, but in a way as you would do your sales pitch. So not explain this is how we do it and do the steps of what is your, the SOPs. But what you do is you always connect your service explanation with the benefits that they would get. Okay, and the last one is just posting your results and testimonials so they can see you're legit, you're working all the time, you have clients, and the trust is just going to be created more and more. Now, what is the faceless content that works the best? Speaking about the stories, the images that you could use and the videos as a background is just personal life surroundings. You can be on a coffee and you can just, take a photo. You can take a photo of your workspace, your phone, your laptop, wherever you're working. You can just, your lifestyle, your surroundings, whatever you want to post around you that makes people realize from the photos that there is a person behind it. That's not just a bot or somebody who is scamming, right? And when we speak about reels, you can use stock footage of your niche. For example, you can see the reels here. I work with construction companies, so you can see every time I post some reel, which is 5 seconds, I just have my niche in action. And that's it. And then I have some sort of a headline, which is a catchy thing. It just has these themes. And in the captions, I speak a little bit about it. And there is a call to action at the end. But where the most of the magic happens is in stories. So in stories, you can see I have a lot of just my surroundings. Everything that's around me, I just post that wherever I catch myself at that point. I post 3 stories per day. The last story is always call to action to make them either message me or I message them. From that, when I see somebody's looking, so it's a pretty cool funnel there. The effects that you get running this funnel is people see that there is a real person behind the brand. They see there is an expert behind the brand because you are always speaking about specific problems and specific desires that they're having. You're speaking to their niche and you're always kind of like, a specialist in one area. And on top of that, because you're posting every day, stories especially, people can see you are there. And the trust is being created. They're used to you posting every day. And then they don't have the question anymore, is this a scam? Will this even work? Because you're there. And it's a really simple hack. It's so simple that I can't believe I didn't get it before. But what can you do? It's here now. So if you have, for example, 40 followers, and they're all qualified because you got them with the ads, you post every day, you chat with your followers, you can expect to close 2 clients per week and easily scale to $10K per month. This is something that I'm getting as a result. Anybody who entered any sort of coaching and anybody who had one-on-one consulting with me had those results. Maybe not $10,000 immediately, although I had some results with the clients who had like first month $10,000, which is amazing. But in the span of 3 months, you can expect to hit those numbers if you're running the funnel in the exact same way as I showed you right here. So those are the steps you can take to close SMMA clients from the Instagram using just faceless content and having 100 followers or even less.